little Jimmy, what do you got over there?
Hippo eats dwarf.
Stop it.
I saw this. I had to just bring it in.
Oh, hold on, because I'm distracted about this.
Oh, hold on.
I want to know why Earl and Anthony. I don't get it. Ray, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, guys? I just want to clear up the Earl and Anthony thing.
All right.
Some caller called in and told him that they dropped his show, so they replaced him with some guy named Earl.
Right.
So to avoid actually mentioning you guys, but to try and take a shot at you, he called you Earl and Anthony. It's retarded.
Huh.
Oh, got ya.
All right.
I
Well,
just want to give a shout out from the NEW days. My boy Sean came for your Jackass contest and won the $500 from BetYouWill.com. I was there with him.
okay. No one cares, but thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. Bye.
Later, bros.
Wow, man, Sirius is just so lucky to get Howie, huh? With this,
Oh, yeah.
this clever banter that he comes up with
That's
after
good.
2 weeks off. Yes, Jimmy.
Hippo eats dwarf.
All
Opie,
right, let's go.
in Bangkok. This is a true story, gang.
In Bangkok, huh?
Yeah.
And what paper is this out of?
It was actually offline, like AOL or something like that.
Oh, then it's got to be true.
A hippopotamus swallowed a circus dwarf in a freak accident in northern Thailand, according to a columnist in the Pattaya Mail, probably some savage newspaper.
Of course.
The Grapevine column reported a circus dwarf nicknamed Ode, O-D, died recently when he bounced sideways from a trampoline and was swallowed by a yawning hippopotamus. Oh, that might not be true. Waiting to appear in the next act. Someone just yawning in a studio and a little midget flew into his mouth, but it wasn't a midget, it was just a lump in the front of his jeans.
See, Ben, it can be dangerous to yawn. Might have a midget fly into your mouth.
Vets said Hilda the hippo had a gag reflex which caused her to swallow. More than 1,000 spectators continued to applaud wildly until they realized there had been a tragic mistake. What was the tragic mistake? That more midgets weren't loaded onto that thing to bounce into the yawning hippo mouth?
I'd pay to see that.
So would I. There's one little family photograph, embarrassment swallowed.
Are you buying that story?
I cannot buy that story.
I don't remember. I did get it off of line. I could have been fake. As I was reading it,
Is it from the Weekly World News?
dude, as I was reading it, I didn't read. I only kind of read the headline because that's about as much show prep as I do.
Right.
And I saw Bangkok, and I'm like, funny word. Email to Ben. But it said here he died recently when he bounced sideways from a trampoline into a yawning hippo mouth.
Yeah, now-
the odds of that got to be 3-1.
If,
3-1.
if he's just taking a little midget swim or something and a hippo came up and ate him, that's one thing.
Yeah.
But to bounce into his mouth off a little trampoline,
While the hippo's yawning, apparently listening to this program.
Everything has to be just perfect for that to happen.
right?
Yeah.
You have to have, our show on in the background to cause the hippo to yawn. You're right.
I read a similar story in Sweden where the midget fell into his mouth when the hippo was yodeling.
You're even turning. You're even turning red on that one.
Wow.
You do have a really good batting average today, though.
I don't mind. I just, as it came out, I actually expected...
That was just a little dribbler down the first baseline there.
No, not only was it not a dribbler, it bounced off the plate and hit me in the knuckle. Because here's why that one stunk so bad. Because I had high hopes for it.
Oh.
And as I was firing it out, I'm anticipating the laugh. So I'm figuring in the ensuing laughter, I'll have time to think of other countries where I can
Yeah.
put in funny things the hippo could be doing.
Right.
Nope.
No.
No, sir. Whew. The hippo was yodeling.
Yodeling.
Was he?
The hippo was yodeling.
All right, Anthony. Well, we're in the latest issue of FHM magazine. Terry Hatcher's on the cover. It's the February issue if you're looking for it on newsstands.
Yes.
And I don't know. Anthony and I have been doing radio for about 10 years together now, and we have a lot of funny stories that have happened to us, obviously. And there's a lot of interest on possibly writing a book or something, and we're still trying to figure that all out. And I don't know, from time to time, these magazines ask us for a story. And these are all very, very true stories of things that we've done in the past. And we're in the section True Story of the Month.
True story of the month.
To get an appropriate true story for this comedy issue, FHM went to the one duo whose every waking moment is either an embarrassing tale or a ridiculous anecdote. Opie and Anthony, XM Satellite.
Anecdote.
What?
Anecdote?
Anecdote, yeah.
Antidote. Antidote's right.
Anecdote.
So take an antidote.
We all
Yes.
know I have lazy mouth in the morning. Opie and Anthony, XM Satellite Radio's weekday morning hooligans.
We just point him out because it keeps the instant feedback from being tied up for an hour with people bragging.
Yeah.
So weird though, man. Like 2 in the afternoon, I speak perfectly.
Oh,
You don't like C's in the morning.
No, No, I don't, actually.
Like them in the afternoon, I'll bet.
All right, so the story, they illustrated this one, Anthony. They gave us a whole page.
Did. We're
and
cartoons again.
They did a great job illustrating this. Can we throw this up on our website, or does FHM want people to actually buy the magazine just to read this little story?
We should scan it.
Yeah?
I'm sure we have a scanner around here with the printer and everything. Look at everyone shaking their head no. Of course we don't.
Maybe Steve could just videotape it while you're holding it and put it up online somehow.
Like a hostage with a newspaper, the date on it.
Let's go to Matt in Jersey. He's going to call you out on your story, by the way. Go ahead, Matt.
Okay.
Yeah, you're a complete moron. This is a 1999 Darwin Award.
Yeah, is it also the, I thought Jim was going to break out the jet engine on the roof of the car story, too.
Oh, dude, all right, what is it? Someone might have emailed. I don't remember how I got my greedy little mitts on it. What is it?
According to this, it was originally on the National Enquirer in 1982 as Dog Communicates with the Dead. So you're just a moron.
Well,
wait,
dude,
it
how
was in that issue?
You're a moron.
All right, I know that, dude, but explain to me why.
You're
Well,
bringing
explain
in,
it. He's just
you're
calling
bringing
you a
in-
moron.
and you're bringing in fake news stories for this
I
program.
didn't realize it was program. I didn't realize it.
You, Dan Rather? What the hell are you doing?
I insist.
You haven't checked your sources?
Well, as I was reading it, I realized the little fella hit the trampoline wrong and went into the yawning mouth. Then I kind of, as I was reading it, I realized
It's an old Enquirer story from the 80s?
But look, I don't deny. I don't realize.
We appreciate
where it
that
came from.
you're starting to bring material to the show, but
I brought some audio. I brought two different specials. I watched
Yes.
last night.
that's
Audio.
the type of thing morning shows in like Des Moines, Iowa do.
Well, I
The
will not
wacky
disagree.
Darwin Awards story.
But I really did think it was legit.
Another winner of the Darwin Awards. Did I tell you about the guy that used a .22 bullet as a fuse in his truck? See, his fuse blew out for his headlights, but he was driving home, and he didn't have another fuse. What he did have was ammunition for his .22 caliber rifle. What he did was he stuck that shell into the fuse hole, and the headlights came on. But the short was still there that blew the fuse. So in time, the bullet heated up and shot him right in his testicles.
I actually have more respect for that story than I do for Randy Johnson's signs with Yankees. I prefer a shot in the bag story.
Did you hear the other story? It's similar to that. The guy got shot in his bag. It went through his yam bag and hit a girl in the abdomen.
Yeah.
And nicked her ovary.
Yeah.
And she wound up getting pregnant
Shut
from the
up.
gunshot. And that
Find that story.
And that is where the saying, "He's a son of a gun," came from.
Someone find that story.
I just read that over the weekend as some news story that was like, this is totally false. This did not happen. It dates back to like the Civil War. They're just these like rumors that
Well, one of
pop
our
up.
listeners
I actually
that,
did hear
that
that
is
one.
good at research, find that story for us.
You can find it on Snopes.
Snopes, okay.
Snopes.com, which dispels everything. Whenever I get an email, of course not one from XM because I never get any from XM, but whenever I get an email, and it's one of those news stories that are just like, wait a minute, this can't be true. I go to Snopes.com, and then you pop it in the search engine, and it comes up true or false or inconclusive or something like that. But so many people email you this crap, and, no, dude, it's the truth. Check this out. Like that, what was one that some idiot told me, God, it was like minutes ago. Oh, a hippopotamus and a midget was on a trampoline.
I really am an ass.
Oh, wow. Let's go to Ryan in
But
Jersey.
I really thought it was real. That's why I would never bring in a wacky story.
Of course, you
Jimmy,
wouldn't.
before we begin, I want to thank you for bringing 40 minutes of material to the program today. You might say 40. That story only took 2 minutes to read. Oh, no. Thanks for the 40 minutes of radio you're about to
Why?
give us. Ryan in Jersey. Yes, Ryan.
Guys, how are you?
Pretty good.
Hey, Cupcake, how are you today?
I've been better, Ryan.
I wanted to know if you heard anything new about the Fat Boy they found in that cave in New York.
Bad boy.
Oh, I'm right.
And, punching out.
Jimmy was so excited.
Oh, I'm a gullible tart.
Listen to the replay. He brings it up that he has this great story about 3 or 4 times.
Oh, I know. He
Got to
just
get to what
wanted
I
it.
brought to the program today.
Dude, I was just so happy that a midget had been eaten.
Dwarf. There's a difference.
Whatever it is, it's just something that comes out half the time a regular baby does. I was just happy that something of that height had died tragically.
Right.
I did not go over the story with a fine-tooth comb, as they say, or in Ben's case, a fine-tooth firecracker.
Do you know Jimmy loves taking celebrity pictures? We know that.
Yes.
Do you know he actually took the picture of Clinton with the alien?
Oh yeah,
That
was you
on the cover of the Weekly World News so many years ago. Jimmy Norton credited with that photo.
I am a gullible fool.
Anthony, is this it?
Let me see. Claimed during the Civil War a woman was impregnated by sperm carried on a bullet that passed through the scrotum of a soldier and penetrated her ovaries. Status is false. The origin sometimes touted as the origin of the phrase "son of a gun." The tale of the bullet through the balls is well-traveled legend, often reported by such infamous urban legend vectors as Dear Abby. Yeah, she's been fooled by a lot of urban legend over the years. Here's the story. It's seen that during the Civil War, May 12th, 1863 to be exact, a young Virginia farm girl was standing on her front porch while a battle was raging nearby. A stray bullet first passed through the scrotum of a young Union cavalryman, then lodged in the reproductive tract of the young woman, who thus became pregnant by a man she had not been within 100 feet of, and 9 months later she gave birth to a healthy baby. The story, in fact, is completely false.
Yep.
The claim for this miraculous bullet pregnancy originated the American Medical Weekly on November 7th, 1874, so it's had some legs over the years. Some of these stories go way back, but it is false. Can someone put the hippo story into Snopes? See if it comes up.
Well, do you know how they knew that was false? Because after the guy got shot through the scrotum, there's video of him actually holding his hat and not letting it go. And then it went through the scrotum.
Right.
And this magic bullet.
Where's Snopes? There it is.
Oh, you almost gave me the crickets? I might have deserved them, but that was kind
No, that was a good reference.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad. It was kind of a magic bullet.
I was on the
theory.
fence.
I could have said
my finger
that.
was on the cricket button.
I could have said the one bullet missed and hit General Grant. A little chip hit him in the face, but I didn't, because that would have been a James Tague comparison. Glad your brother and 3 other people are probably enjoying that.
I know. My brother.
Weird JFK reference. Got the right ta-ta, but the wrong ho-ho.
All right. Here is a story.
All right.
Let me see. Back.
I stand by
Urban
my-
legend. Miscellaneous newspaper. An Australian circus dwarf died recently when he bounced sideways from a trampoline and was swallowed by a hippopotamus.
That was yawning.
Oh, come on. That's great. Oh, my goodness. Stop it. That is it's being reported as an Australian dwarf, though. Where was yours from?
Thailand.
Thailand. The locations change, things happen, but
the ass remains the same when he brings it in. What a
people
fool I am.
watched as little Franz Dash popped into the mouth of Hilda the hippo. Was it Hilda?
Yeah,
Your
it was
story?
Hilda.
And the animal's gag reflex forced it to swallow. The crowd applauded. Yeah, well, there you go.
So they're saying it's false.
Of course it's false.
Well, this guy's saying it's true. Jim in Tennessee. Go
on.
ahead, Jim.
Hey, Mythbusters did a thing on that about a month ago.
I love Mythbusters, by the way. It's 2 guys that try to bust or prove the urban legends that are around.
They've been measuring black penises for 4 years. Trying to find one to break that myth.
Again, this myth is true.
Some dumbass actually used a .22 bullet as a fuse, and it did go off. But all it did was hit him in the leg. It didn't.
It did not. It's an urban legend.
I'm telling you, they had their crash dummy set up, and it hit him in the leg.
Well,
Okay,
the Mythbusters.
In Mythbusters.
The other story that's been reported as true over the years is the one we just mentioned about a week or 2 ago. The whole match and the gerbil and the
Right, the gerbil where the 2 gay guys were having sex and one put a gerbil where the sun don't shine there. And
how does the story start? In retrospect, lighting the match
wasn't a good idea. They were in the hospital, and he was kind of reflecting on what had happened.
One guy had a burnt face, and
burnt
the other guy
face
had
and a broken nose.
Burnt bunghole.
And the other guy had a burnt bunghole. Yeah, burnt balloon knot. And it turns out they had put a gerbil in there with a string to get him out. The string fell off. They couldn't get the gerbil out. So one guy was lighting a match, and kind of looking inside to try to find the gerbil so he could
But why
pick
would
him
you?
out.
Let's pick this. Why would you light the match to see? You know where the gerbil is.
Well, Opie, in retrospect, lighting the match wasn't a good idea.
All right, that's where he was a dumbass.
Maybe he should have used a little mag light or something.
But you know where it is. It's not
right
like
up there. You don't need a match. Just dig in and try to pull him out.
There you
I
go.
understand completely. But, he lit the match, and the buildup of methane gas shot the mouse out, the gerbil out like a cannon, and it hit him in the face, breaking his
the guy
nose.
had a broken nose. That's
Yeah,
right, broken nose.
broken
and the other
nose
guy
and
had the
burnt
burnt
face.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's an urban legend. But here I am also on Snopes looking at the a pair of Arkansas rednecks are injured using .22 caliber shell in place of a burnt-out automobile fuse. False. Just never happened. Whether it was proven on that TV show that it could happen or not is one thing, but we're talking about things that have happened.
Exactly.